it different. Back then, I was all three of my baby mamas. It's crazy, but we're gonna go through it because it was sent to me. I trapped all three of my baby mamas. Yeah, I said it. I'm 41 now, and I see it different. Back then, I was selfish. I'd lie, love bomb, make promises I never planned to keep just to keep them close. I didn't care if they were ready, just wanted to control them. I didn't raise families, built broken homes. Now I got 2 daughters, and watching what's happening to them feels like karma. My oldest is 24 with 3 baby daddies. I swear she's reliving everything I put her mama through. Same lies, same manipulation, same pain. I look at her and see every bad choice I ever made come right back to me. And my youngest has had 4 abortions by different boys before even hitting 21. I can't even judge her because when I look in the mirror, I know exactly where she learned to let men use her. I thought being a dad meant giving money and showing up sometimes. I never realized it meant being a blueprint, and I was the worst example they could have had. I tried to right my wrongs, but I think it's too late. They don't listen to what I already showed them what I really believed. I want to make it right. Wait a minute. Okay, so this is a blind.
Wow. I'm more impressed that this black man went ahead and took accountability for the things that he saw in his seeds, what he saw in his children, the things that his daughters were going through, the fact that he had daughters. So, I'm like, I applaud him for recognizing the hurt that he has caused. He clearly knows the hurt that he's caused and the things that he's done. Because I think it left off with saying that, he thinks it's too late, to try to fix things, to try to solve certain things. And he might be right in a sense that it's wrong that he's just figuring this out now. That's the wrong thing.
Because it's too late. Like if he would have realized it. Not saying that we don't have our flaws, because in our community we already know a lot of us are traumatized. So it does take healing. But it comes to a certain point that we do have to start to heal, guys.
Yeah.
That we can't keep holding on to all this pain.
Yes.
And I always questioned how men with daughters feel. These type of men that treat women this way, how do they feel about their daughters? How do they want their daughters to be treated? Do you want your daughter to be with a man like you?
Exactly.
And for those who say, well, I don't have black daughters, your daughter is still black. Your daughter is still a woman in a patriarchy type of world. I think it's also very important because when we express that a child needs 2 parents to raise, because it's qualities that a woman will give a man, a little boy, with looking for a mate, and there's qualities that a father will give a daughter with the looking for a mate that is desperately needed, and finding and actually knowing what a woman and man are. And you are that influence. You are that first representation. Even black mothers. And we have a lot of traumatized little boys and little girls because we haven't properly done the healing. And we have continuously passed this cycle on. It is very important not to completely blame yourself, because if you don't know, then you don't know no better. If you're just raised in a nuclear family, then that is what you're used to.
Absolutely.
So the first step of that is starting to change that cycle and start to build families together so our children can now start to see what those families are and will then start to raise their children that way.
Yeah, and another thing he started to recognize was the family downfalls.
Yeah.
You know, the things that keep repeating. You know, the family curses. I call them the family curses, and he pointed that out.
Yeah.
Because of all the things that his daughters, he mentioned all the things that his daughters were going through, he put their mothers through.
Yeah.
And you could tell that he was just like, "What have I done? What have I done?"
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? What have I done? Because I've never, if the post is real, not real, whatever the case may be, it's just the simple fact of this man took accountability for that. Not a lot of black men do that. That's an example of a black man taking accountability for the pain that he caused. It's difficult. It's very difficult as a black man to take full accountability for the pain that you've caused, especially to the ones that you love the most, quote unquote, or not quote unquote.
And start out by calling yourself and other black men out for the same actions. I think it was also very important how he started off when he said he lit these women. He lied to them. He manipulated them. Because a lot of the times when men discuss single mothers, we never touch on exactly why she's alone. It's always her fault. And then when she is left alone, it's still her fault. It's never that maybe she fell in love with a man. Maybe she planned a future in her life with a man. And maybe that man did not continue to feel those ways and left her.
Yes.
Now we see her, something wrong with her, tainted, damaged, for falling for the wrong guy that lied to her,
Yes.
that manipulated her, that sold her a dream.
It's like a used car salesman, really.
We can say majority of marriages end from men
Majority.
and relationships.
We ruin it. Men ruin relationships a lot. That's one of the main things because we have the what's it called, the privilege, quote unquote, of starting the relationship, and we can end the relationship. So it's just it's very it's very interesting because when a man is done, he's usually done, and people don't really bother or do whatever the case, do anything else, especially in our community. He's just like, oh yeah,
Women will keep coming back to a relationship, keep going back.
Yeah, and some men will too. And
Some, but
yeah,
majority.
a majority are just like, nah, I'm done, I'm good.
If a woman cheats on a man, majority of men will leave that woman.
Yeah.
She does not get a second chance or forgiveness or to try to work this relationship out. But on the other hand, we as women, we do.
Right. You're expected to like be okay with with him fucking up. You know what I'm saying? There's this song. Remember the singer Betty Wright?
Mm-hmm.
I forgot what song it was, but she was talking in the song, and she gave some really bad advice, talking about it's like, look, you had a party, and you had people coming up, and trying to get y'all back together. It's just like, it was just like, and not having a man it was like having a piece of man is better than not having a man at all. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like, no, Betty, I don't know what you're saying.
We have found out that that's very detrimental because women are hurting, and it's reflecting on our up and coming generations. And we need men to start to step up and start to take accountability. And when you sit there and you say it's because of her, we're not starting with ourselves first.
Start with yourself first. Start with yourself first. As a black man, start with yourself first. And don't sit there and get in your own way with the shit that you're going through. Which is very important, that the shit that we go through on a day-to-day basis. But don't think that you don't have privilege within the community. As a black man, you do. As black men, we do. We have privilege within the community. I was like, and it's just as men in general. So we have to be wary of that fact, because of the simple fact, as men, we're at the bottom of the totem pole as far as getting our rights is concerned. You know what I'm saying? So that's just what it is. So we have to understand that within our own community, we're at the top. You're at the top. You know what I'm saying? Especially if you straight, you at the top, or straight, quote unquote. Like, if you are a straight presenting black man, whatever the case may be, you can get away with pretty much any fucking thing if you're just taking care of business. Sorry, that's just what it is. That's how I feel. That's what I've seen.
And I think black women too, have to start to do the healing, our own healing. Because with our own healing will come acceptance to our black men and their trauma while they're healing. Everybody got closed ears to the effect, and it's only I. And once we start doing the healing, then we can start to sympathize for one another and start to be there for one another.
It's difficult to sit there and empathize with one another because of the simple fact there has been such a coordinated attack to break us up.
Yeah. And
to make sure that we don't see one another, or we don't see the value in one another. If that, if that makes sense.
And it's very important, guys, y'all see what's going on. Now is the time, if any time.